guys, so this was supposed to be the first part of the two-part series finale, but it didn't really end up like that. It was just a regular episode with a prequel to the finale at the end. I'll get to that a bit later though. Oh, and also this episode is supposed to have happened 200 years after the God Complex, which lines up with the fact that he's 1109 or something like that, and he invites a 909-year-old version of himself to his death, which was in The Impossible Astronaut. The Doctor comes back to Craig, and he says it's like a social or catch-up kind of thing, but Craig knows something's wrong. He's not a stupid guy, so he works something out. He works out that the Doctor's come to fix some problem, and just wanted to kind of stay with Craig while he was doing it. Yeah, so the first part of the episode was just him really going around trying to act normal with Craig whilst trying to work out what it is. When he hears about the silver rat and people disappearing, he has a hunch of what it is. But when he actually catches the silver rat or the Cybermat, he knows it's the Cyberman. He actually comes across Amy and Rory at the shopping centre. I reckon this has a bit of a contribution to maybe him. I think it reminds him of Amy and Rory, and it might remind him that he needs to invite them to his death. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. In fact, I'm not even certain at all, but I at least think that him coming across Amy and Rory again has something to do with anything in the. It's not. I don't think it's just a random coincidence. It has to go. It's going to go into something. Anyway, so people have been going missing, and Craig finally drags it out of the Doctor and tells him about everything that's going on. They catch the Cybermat, and he does his sonic on it so it can be remotely controlled by them. And then he heads out early in the morning to kind of find out or go in and check it out. Craig went to sleep, and when he wakes up, he doesn't want to miss out on the action because the Doctor intentionally left early because he didn't want to put anyone in danger. That was the whole reason that he left Amy and Rory in the God Complex, because at least I think it anyway. He's sick of people dying for him. I think the Doctor would be a pretty cool person to like. Out of all the people, he is quite a person to like sacrifice yourself for. I mean, not really sacrifice yourself, but he's a pretty good cause. He doesn't think he is though. He thinks he's pretty. He thinks he's almost bad for having so many people die for him. Anyway, so Craig comes down and finds the lair and everything and goes through, and they actually find him. And of course, because the Doctor's incompatible for whatever reason, being a Time Lord, and they grab Craig and they decide to use him as their cyber controller. So they whack him into the cyber suit maker machine kind of thing, and they try and put him in, and the mask closes over, and you think it's all over for Craig, but then on the security device, because the Cyberman hacked into the security system, and so through the security device, he hears Alfie crying in the main area of the department store. This is what saves him, because Craig's want to have Alfie safe and well and not crying is enough to override the emotional thing, because they're going to remove his emotions, and if his emotions are fired up too powerfully, they're not able to remove them. So it breaks through and deactivates the suit, and it also goes through and overloads the systems of the other Cybermen, so they all kind of explode or something like that. and they all get out safely. He says goodbye to Craig, cleans up his house and everything, and then grabs those letters, those blue letters, and the Stetson, and he goes to America to be killed. This brings me over to the prequel of the wedding of River Song. So I was right in thinking that it was River Song in the spacesuit a while back, way over on The Impossible Astronaut. So I was right in thinking that, but I didn't think that it would be the adult River that went into the spacesuit. I thought it was the little girl, but it's not. She was drugged while speaking to Madame Kavarian, and she was put into the spacesuit and just basically left there, sitting in the water until it comes time for the Doctor's death, because there's an exact time written down, so they are following that. Now, that spacesuit that she was put in, it's not just a regular spacesuit, as we found out in the Day of the Moon. It's got a steel frame. It's got heaps of electronics and crazy stuff in it, and it's also just a spacesuit. So it's sealed for space. So she can't do anything about it. She was drugged and put in there, and she's just stuck, really. So she's just stuck there, really, to think about the fact that she knows they're going to remotely control this spacesuit and have her witness the killing of the Doctor. This is actually why she was put in the storm cage. So technically it wasn't really her. She was in the spacesuit who did it. So I guess the authorities just assume it was her. Anyways, I've heard that the next episode, the finale, actually leaves more questions than it answers, which makes sense. Being the finale, they want people to come back next year. But one of the main things, or it wasn't not really main, but something to think about. River Song is seen wearing an eye patch similar to Madame Kavarian, and a few people have been thinking. I've heard that she might be the future. Madame Kavarian might be another future version of River. Really, no. Just no. No. Just, yeah. One thing's certain, though, the Silents are coming back, and I think there's going to be another season or series with the Silents in it. I don't think the Silents are going to be beaten in this one next finale episode. They've been kind of leading up to it so much that I don't think that it's going to beat them in another episode. So yeah, that's all from me for this week. End screen. So, one more episode, the finale. Can't wait to finish off this series. Not that I want to have to wait a long time, but I can't wait to see how this all goes and fits into place. So I've got a few projects planned for after this Doctor Who series finishes. Videos won't be as frequent as like a weekly thing, but I'm going to try and keep getting them out as often as possible. Also, holidays. I've just in Australia. We've just started the first week of school break, mid-term break, and not sure how it goes in Europe and America. But if you are on holidays and taking a break, hope you're having a good time. Anyways, that's all from me. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter or check out my blog. That's all. Bye.
Alright, Marines, you're not in Kansas anymore. You're on Pandora. What?
I don't think any of us are actually from Kansas.
I know, it's a figure of speech. It's from a movie.
Really?